questions?
Well, outstanding atmosphere. I want to thank our students. I think our students really made a difference in the game, as well as our fans. They showed up. We gave them reasons to get out their seat and stay out of their seat. I think we had a spell in that first half where we gave up a 17-0 run, I believe, and we just couldn't play as aggressive as we wanted to. And obviously, it just showed how much we miss Ant out there on the court. As it relates to the game, I thought these two guys to my right and left won us the game in different ways, more ways than one. Ant Robinson, you can look in the stat sheet and look at certain things that he did. But what's telling is his leadership, his tenacity, and different things like that. Peyton Marshall, I can't say it enough, and he impacted the game in more ways than one. He'll laugh and giggle about it. I thought he prepared himself mentally and took the challenge that I bestowed upon him at halftime and showed up. I think he was showing up in front of his grandma and mom tonight. So definitely wanted to give him kudos. I thought our team took care of the basketball in the second half, one turnover in that second half, and I thought we were able to get to the free throw line.
Peyton, what was the challenge Coach gave you at halftime?
Just be ready and pick up the intensity. It was a close game. He just told me, like, you gotta be ready as soon as I put you on, as soon as your opportunity is given.
And it's just what dictated from the game to have Anthony play 8 minutes in the first half and then all of the second.
Having Ant in the late game, I put him out there, but I thought Kyle and Coach Masson did a good job trying to attack him with 2 fouls, and I didn't want him to get 3 in that first half, so I thought we needed all those fouls for him in the second half because that impacts his intensity for the most part, and that decision was made upon just kind of the big picture, not short term, but big picture. It did put us in a bad spot. I just think ultimately having Ant on the floor in multiple ways can help us.
Ant scoring 29 and just you had the mid-range going a little bit there early. How do you feel like you were able to kind of get to your spots?
You know, just preparation, just working on it, just staying ready. I knew they were going to be in drop coverage, so you know that little area is going to be open. Just staying focused and ready for that shot.
And going into tonight, did you know that you were going to be kind of the go-to option on offense, or was just that kind of how the game played out for you?
You know, the game played out for me that way, but my mom called me and she said I feel a good game coming. So you know, my mom always got me, so you know I stayed with that, and it just came to me tonight. So
The mom gonna curse him out for missing the free throws. Tell him.
Anthony, talk about you drew 11 fouls tonight. What is your mentality when going to the hoop, especially drawing contact and still staying, keeping your vision towards the hoop while you're taking contact?
That's just a part of who I am. Just staying aggressive at all times, and you know when to create content, when not to, and you know that's just part of my game, and I'm growing in that area.
Coach, what was the message to the team at halftime of what changed that allowed you guys to go on?
I would love to take all the credit, and sometimes head coaches sit here and take all the credit. I credit our players. They challenged themselves. They knew what we had to do. The right voices were talking in leadership, and it showed in those first couple minutes coming out of the gate. I thought they executed the game plan. The one thing I did do was simplify offensively and just go right into high ball screens, and that's an adjustment that I made, but my voice was minimized. I think the players, when they are deciding to lead, they did a great job in that locker room. Caleb Grill did a great job. Tamar Bates did a great job. And these guys did a great job receiving it, and they executed everything that we practiced in the last 2-3 days for the prep. So for me, I love to take all the credit, but I'll first credit the staff and I'll credit our players for doing what they needed to do and connecting how they needed to connect.
And does the way that Anthony's playing right now, the way he's driving in the lane, the way he's driving from posts, does that allow you to have a night where you only shoot 9 3-pointers? Does that allow you to change the game plan a little bit on that side of things?
Well, changing the game plan was obviously getting to the basket, shortening the game, getting to the free throw line, and our bigs between Josh and Peyton. I thought those guys set some great ball screens for Ant, and they had some great Tiger assists. It's one thing for Ant to be able to do those things. He doesn't do them without Josh and Peyton. And ultimately, those guys didn't get one illegal screen call And that's what I'm proud about. Peyton Marshall leads us in illegal screens in practice. He leads us, okay? But even he was fundamental in his footwork, fundamental in his preparation and being able to roll out and set the necessary screens and different things like that to minimize their shot blockers, which they was a great team. The one thing I would say is on-ball defense, our guys did a great job, but again, Peyton Marshall and Josh Gray, they were unbelievable in ball screen defense tonight, and Kyle tried to exploit it, but they wasn't able to as much. They made some tough shots.
Peyton, can you talk a little bit about your mindset of helping the team without the ball in? And Anthony, what do those screens kind of help you on the offensive side as well?
Without the ball, we was emphasizing Gortats in practice, so I know like once I set the screen, I just gotta like create a lane for my guard to go score. And I feel like that was like a contribution of him scoring a lot tonight. You know, we set the screen, me and Josh, and then paved the lane for him. And the rest was history.
Yeah, shout out to Peyton and Josh. They set great screens and allowed me to see the floor better. And you know, my guy was in drops, so I'm just reading the game, and you know, it just all coming together.
Coach, it wasn't just Anthony's play on the court, but also his leadership is really developing. As just a sophomore, what have you seen from him developing into a leader, more of a leader on the court?
I've seen Ant become more patient when he hears my demands versus irritable, like most players reject it. Because I demand him to talk, I blame everything on him in practice so he can obviously take some stress, and he allows me to do it. And his team, I know it's frustrating, but you have to prepare guys a certain way. Ant loves the film room. He loves to get in and get extra shots, and obviously breaking down the game, he's a student. I just think he's allowed himself the grace. He allowed me to be irritable toward him and allow me to coach our team through him. And everybody's not able to carry that load sometimes, and that's what he allows me to do. Regardless if he's perfect or if he messes up, he still allows me to get on him from time to time, and especially in our environment. I think when it comes down to Peyton's growth, and I'll talk about this too because it's important, the season is long, and sometimes out of high school, you can kind of look at college is going to be a little easy. Peyton is breaking through the wall that most freshmen kind of go through, and that's what we saw tonight. We seen him come down and make some unbelievable plays for us offensively and defensively. He was able to be as strong as he can be. Usually in high school, those things are fouls for him, and that's what he's used to doing. So in a college game, he can be more physical, and I think that's where his growth is also going in the right direction, and he allows me to challenge him. Although he gets annoyed with me coaching him every day, I think he complains to mom sometimes, who's back there, and grandma, and mom and grandma tell him what they tell you.
Slip it up.
Yeah, there you have it. So they coach, they are my assistant coaches as well. So they do a good job, and I appreciate both these guys and how they respond to me as a coach.
Dennis, I think there was about 13 minutes when Peyton came in and he played, I think 9.5 straight minutes for you. Do you go into that with kind of an idea of how much you want to get before you bring Josh back, and then did he exceed that because of the way he was playing?
Well, he exceeded that and got more time because of what he was doing. Don't get it wrong or get it twisted. Right. I think he earned every minute, and if that was the first half, he probably would have ended up with 25 or 30 minutes with the rate he was playing. From a fatigue standpoint, he fought through the fatigue. I was able to use some timeouts, some dead balls in that mix as well. But ultimately, I thought he did a great job of communicating, talking, and he just was ready when his number was called. And sometimes most kids aren't ready for that. And in the first 2 minutes, they're not able to make the plays. But he made plays on both ends of the court for his team, and he was in a positive direction. I think at the end of the day, he was plus 11 or 12 on the score. And when you can make that type of impact, you're going to earn more minutes next game anyway. So,
Coach, similarly to Peyton Marshall's second half, T.O. Barrett saw first half run for the first time in his collegiate career, and he also shot perfect. Can you kind of assess T.O. Barrett's first half performance and why you decided to play him so early?
Well, he had a little more pep in his step. I thought it took Tony Perkins a little while to get going, and those turnovers were impacting us. Ant Robinson was in foul trouble. Marquez kind of was off the ball, so I needed someone with T.O.'s toughness to kind of get in the lane, and I thought he provided that for us. He just has to stay ready, And at the end of the day, you can see kind of the foundation of how bright of a future our guys have, especially our freshmen. They're talented. You know, right now they want to play 40 minutes, but they know good and well they can't. And there's a lot they have to continue to learn, but I know this, they've gradually gotten better, and they'll continue to get better as the year go on, and that's what I'm looking forward to most.
Any more questions for Ant or Peyton?
And this is the second time that you have been part of a team that's made an 18-point comeback. Just what's kind of the mindset of the team when you're trying to dig out of that kind of a hole?
You know, just with effort and energy, that was the main key, and you know, just playing hard every play, and you know, not trying to look at the score, and you know, just trying to fight, and you know, we're gonna come back and win this game.
Peyton, Coach talked a little bit about that physicality. Can you speak a little bit about how you've noticed the change from high school to college and how you're able to be more physical out there?
Yes, sir. High school, I feel like any sign of physicality or aggression, they would penalize my size and just like, oh, you too big to be hitting on those kids like that. Whereas, but now it's like everyone is the same size, so you kind of, it's normal. Like you gotta tell them get in the weight room. You can't penalize somebody for being strong no more. It's the SEC most physical conference in college basketball. So I feel like I get to use that to my advantage now. Feels pretty good.
All right, one last question.
Dennis, you mentioned all the plays Peyton made. What about the assist? What did you think of that play?
I've seen him make those plays consistently. It was a beautiful. I thought he was going to turn it into a no look, but he obviously just simplified it. And sometimes Peyton, his strength will not allow him to make touch passes like that. And sometimes in practice, it'll be off time. And I just thought he played with patience. He played with a pace. And I thought he made the right eye contact. Again, these two guys, without them, we wouldn't have won this game. Without Bates' leadership, we would not have won the game. And it's by committee. I think we're 18 strong, like I said. And all our guys have to continue to stay unselfish. I thank our crowd for showing up, our students specifically for their energy. Looking forward to our week to be able to learn a little bit more about our team, but also get better. The last thing I would say is just good luck to our volleyball team. You know, being able to go to the NCAA tournament for Coach Sullivan and her crew is a tremendous accomplishment, and I want to credit them. I want to also say to our football program, good luck. Coach Eli Drakowicz being able to coach for a 10th win this season. Those things don't come around often, and I think we got to give credit where credit's due, and he's done a tremendous job, and I just want us to continue to support all of our programs because it takes a village, and obviously the city of Como is very, very special. So, MIZ.
Thanks, guys.